What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. The big, beautiful bill is really making some headwind now in the Senate, and it's kind of interesting to see what they've taken out of that bill and what hasn't been taken out. So, still following the breaking news on that, but it seems like there's some good things happening with this bill, and some things that were like just asinine that are being taken out of this bill. But one of the things I want to discuss here, a lot of people would agree on, is the debt ceiling that this is going to create, and why that is an issue for average Americans. And what I mean by that is it shouldn't be an issue for average Americans, and I'll explain why. Right. So according to a lot of estimates here, we're expecting a 3.3 trillion to anywhere from 3.3 trillion to 5 trillion of in a deficit over the next 10 years because of this bill. Every time a bill is passed like this, the debt ceiling rises, there's a deficit, and that's the problem that a lot of people have about all this stuff, right? They discuss all these things that we implement, but then it's like, all right, well, how are we going to pay all this off? And the government's been a big talker about how we're going to pay all this off. But you guys don't want to go after the billionaires who are undercutting corporate taxes that can easily fund all this stuff. It just doesn't make any sense. But then when you look through the cracks, it does, right? So we're having all these deficit issues, but we know for a fact that corporations are getting away with loopholes, not paying their fair share of taxes, right? We wouldn't have this deficit issue if corporations paid their taxes. For the longest time, I couldn't understand why would the government work against its own interests. These are the first people you should go after, right, to get that money in taxes that is owed to us. We have to borrow money when in reality, sure, we might have to borrow a little bit, but we won't have to borrow as much as we need to if corporations just paid their fair share of taxes. I'm reading some stuff here, but it's kind of frustrating. It doesn't really make logical sense. But then when you look deep into why things are the way they are, why the U.S. government won't aggressively go after these tax loopholes and these corporate tax dodgers, because they benefit from it, right? The people who join these ranks in our politics end up becoming some of the wealthiest individuals, and they're in cahoots. Let me do this right with corporations.